number 1, Greg Albertine, a 17 points advantage over second place man in the championships, and that's Stefan Everts. The question now is, which one of these two will it be that walks away from Germany today, a 250cc Grand Prix Championship? Will it Albertine, or will it be this man, Stefan Everts? Talking to the Brit, Paul Malin. There's Kurt Nickel, number 4, looking on as the board goes up for the start of Heat 1. Gate drops, here they go. The penultimate race of the year. Who will get the whole shot? It looks like Everts. It looks like the Belgian Stefan Everts, number 2, that has got the whole shot. Everts it is. We're looking back for second. That's Nickel. Bartolini was amongst that group. Now where is Albertine? There he goes up the hill. Not a good start for Albertine. We've got 4 on the floor. But Stefan Everts it is that leads Heat 1 of this final championship round. Second place, it's the Brit, Kurt Nickel, number 4. Then it was Volan going through. Demaria is there. And there is Albertine. 17 points the difference. Albertine can afford not to have to win, but he needs to finish in the top 6 at least. They come screaming through some of these off-cambered corners here. Very difficult conditions for some of the riders, but it's Everts making no mistake at the front. He leads Heat 1. He's looking at 20 points. Now the question is, where will Albertine finish? Nickel making a charge for the lead. There's Volan 3rd. Demaria back in 4th. They're sorting themselves out. There is Albertine. We've been looking for him. So he's back in about 7th at the moment. That could be enough. It could all go to the last race, and what a championship it will be. Everts leads from Nickel, the 250 Castrol Honda rider from Great Britain. 77, the Frenchman Demaria. He's won some overalls this year at the back end of the championship. Certainly is a rider to be reckoned with in 1995. Albertine, who goes to America to race in 1995. Nickel, his second year on the 250s. They've gone through the top runners. We're still waiting for Albertine. There he is, being urged on by the crowd. He needs effective points to ensure that that man doesn't take the championship away from him at the death. But Nickel dogging Everts all the way. Voland and Demaria very slippery there on that corner. You can see very shiny the surface. Albertine picks his way gently through, applies the power to the back end of the Suzuki. Albertine over the big tabletop he goes. We look the other side as the front runners come through. Everts and Nickel, 1 and 2. Nothing seems to be separating those two. Voland and Demaria, those are the top 4. 5, it looks like 6 at the moment for Albertine, yes indeed. So Albertine on course for his championship. It could all go to the last race. All that Everts could hope for is that Albertine DNFs the last race, which would effectively give Everts the championship on the plate. That's of course if he wins, but it's unlikely to happen. Demaria goes through. There's Albertine closing on Demaria. Stefan Everts, second in the championship, number 2 on the bike, looking like it's going to keep the 2 for 1995. Nickel, 4 on his bike. There's Albertine chasing Volan. So we've lost Demaria. Albertine moves up a place. Look at Nickel climbing all over Everts. He wants to take those points, and who's it going to be? It's going to be Everts. 20 points Everts, 17 for Nickel. And 3rd, we're looking back, and it should be Albertine. It is 15 points. Well, problems for Greg Albertine. He can't find his goggles. Well, somebody's taken them as a souvenir. There's Stefan Everts. He's got his goggles, and disappointment written all over his face. He's really got to hope for a miracle in this last race of the year. It is the last 250 Grand Prix race of 1994. Hang on to your seats. Here they go. Gate drops. It's all on the last race. Into that first set of corners, the left-hander and the right-hander. And Everts has gone down. Everts has gone down. Looks like 82 Dimar Lacquer that's taken the lead from Demarie. Yes, indeed, it's Lacquer. Demarie. Albertine's coming through, but Everts has gone down at the back. He's got to finish fourth. There he is, back on the bike. Albertine has to DNF the race, and Bollé, they're chasing. Well, there's Albertine. We're working this out very quickly. If Albertine DNFs the race and Everts finishes fourth, he would have won the World Championship. But the likelihood of that is very, very, very unlikely, I should say. Well, there is Everts charging through the field like a man possessed, and well, wouldn't you be? It is Demarie, 77, the Frenchman, that leads in the last race of the year. There is Albertine. Well, he's up in the points. Schmidt and, well, that was Nickel. Bavort is there as well, 5. Kurt Nickel, finishing second in race 2, is up there in a good position. And here comes Everts. Well, he's got more than a mountain to climb. That's Parker behind him, DeWitt also in that group. But it is the Frenchman who excels as always on the hard tracks. Yves Demarie, 77 on the Pepsi-Cola Honda, that leads the last 250 race of the year. Bollé is second, number 14, another Frenchman. Then it's the Brit, Kurt Nickel. Then it's Albertine fourth, so Nickel looking on for a good finish. There's Schmidt, who could well be retiring at the end of this race. He's got Parker behind him, and just look at this. That's Paul Cooper, the South African 39. He's got Stefan Everts right behind him. Everts has got to get to fourth. And Stefan Everts on the inside of number 9, but it looks like Demarie that holds the lead. The Frenchman is out there and looking at 20-point. Nickel is second. Kurt Nickel on the 1995 bike is second from Bollé. But it's this man, Demarie, that has the 20 points in sight. Now Nickel, number 4. Bollé, the Frenchman, number 14 behind him. 81, that is Bert Eckenbach. 21, Paul Malin. Here comes Stefan Everts. Well, who would want to have to climb this kind of mountain to stand any chance of winning the World Championship? This is the second year in succession that he's been so close and things have gone wrong for him. Demarie then takes the win from Nickel. Bollé is third, Bavort, and we've got a battle on here between Everts and Albertine, and Everts trying to push Albie a little wide, but it's going to be Everts that will take 6. Albertine takes 7th, but does it really matter? Because he is, once again, the world 250cc motocross champion. The South African Greg Albertine, racing in America for 1995. The cheers, the jubilations and the celebrations can now commence because he is once again the champion. Who needs the goggles now?
He rode it to perfection. He rode it to perfection.
Former 125cc and 250cc champion, the American Donnie Schmidt, collects the checkered flag. He retires.